Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly.
Workers at a Georgia Hyundai plant describe a chaotic scene after an immigration raid at the facility. Federal authorities say Thursday's raid was the result of a months-long investigation by several agencies.
Foreign car makers like Hyundai and BMW to be opposed to imports.
John Deere just stabbed Heartland farmers in the back after 185 years of American pride. You will be shocked by what transpired next. What I'm about to tell you will make your blood boil if you've ever watched your grandfather proudly polish that green and yellow emblem or trusted a John Deere tractor to farm your field. However, stay with me because there will be a twist that no one anticipated. You know, last week I got a call from my friend Bob in Saskatchewan. Anger was trembling in his voice. He stated, "They've sold us out after everything we've been through together." Bob has now farmed for 40 years. He's never sounded so upset to me. No, not in the '88 drought. Not even during the 1990s grain price crisis. Why would a man who has survived every adversity agriculture may bring be so deceived? I'll tell you exactly what Bob found out, though. However, initially I have a question for you. How many of you can recall what it meant to be produced in America? When a piece of equipment was made by your neighbors for your neighbors, and you could purchase it with confidence. Because everything that our generation held dear is mocked by what John Deere just stated. This is what took place. Since before your great-grandfather was born, John Deere has been the foundation of farming in North America, declared that they will be shifting production to Mexico. 600 jobs in America have been lost. As simple as that. This is where you'll become really excited, though. Do you recall Bob? He did, however, learn something that exacerbates this treachery. You must first realize how far down this rabbit hole goes before I can tell you what he discovered. Imagine this. Your age is 58. You have 25 years of experience at the John Deere facility in Waterloo, Iowa. Your mortgage is due. Perhaps you are assisting a grandchild with their college education. Your supervisor abruptly convenes a meeting and informs you that your employment is moving south of the border. This tragedy is currently plaguing more than 1-800 households. 119 employees receive pink slips in Atuma in Annie, Iowa. 75 more. These aren't only spreadsheet figures. These are actual people that proudly wore the Deere logo because they believed in the business. But hold on, things get worse. How do you explain to a grandchild who is 10 years old why their grandfather is unable to pay for their birthday present this year? Because the business he sacrificed his life for prioritized low-cost foreign labor over American allegiance. This is currently taking place in heartland communities, and this is where things start to get extremely furious. Can you guess what John Deere is doing with its revenues as it is laying off American workers? CEO salaries and bonuses totaling millions of dollars are being given to executives, enough to support entire small villages. Furthermore, they are requesting tax advantages in exchange for outsourcing work abroad. However, do you recall what I said about my friend Bob? He found something that will make your head spin because it ties all of this together. Take a moment to hold that thought. Farmers who have been John Deere supporters for many generations are being squeezed on both sides. The cost of equipment is soaring. Next year, we anticipate price increases of 2 to 4%. Farm revenues are also falling at the same time. Financing that new combine is quite expensive due to high interest rates. Lower agricultural prices translate into less revenue. It is comparable to becoming ensnared in a financial sin. John Deere is also progressively tightening the handle. Not to mention the hidden expenses that are not displayed on the balance sheets. Families that have been displaced from the towns where they have lived for many generations. Schools are losing pupils, churches are losing members, and community centers and baseball fields are becoming quieter as their occupants have been compelled to relocate in pursuit of employment. Profits and tractors aren't the only factors here. It's about destroying the ties that define small-town America and the very fabric of rural life. Tell me something. When did community loyalty lose ground to corporate greed? When did a man's word and a handshake lose their significance? Because right now, that's precisely what's taking place here. To put an end to this madness, President Trump vowed to impose a 200% tariff, whether you like him or not. He claimed that by making it so costly to import Deere from Mexico, they would be forced to maintain employment in our country. Here's the big question, though. Will it be too late or too little? And here is what Bob found that makes all the difference. Bob began investigating John Deere's financial situation. He discovered a business that had been plotting this betrayal for years while stealing millions of dollars in tax breaks from the United States. When it was convenient, they moved them overseas after taking our money and promising work. It's not even the worst part, though. Deere are causing havoc for farmers while reducing American jobs, who rely on them. Shortages of parts that last 6 months. A whole growing season can be ruined by equipment delays. Imagine your crops sitting unharvested for 6 months while you wait for a crucial component. That is the current reality that farmers must deal with. And I have a question for you. How many of you can recall a time when providing excellent customer service was truly important? When did businesses support their employees and their goods? This is the ultimate face slap. John Deere continues to promote itself as an advocate for American agriculture even as it abandons American jobs. They continue to strike the heartland in the back while enveloping themselves in that patriotic rhetoric. It's similar to witnessing someone declare their concern for your family's safety while setting your house on fire. It's not just about John Deere, though. This concerns the consequences of allowing corporations to prioritize profits over people. When we let businesses steal our taxes and flee. In these farming communities, it is felt by every main street shop. Coffee was obtained by plant workers at the nearby diner. They purchased tools from the hardware store. They purchased trucks from the car dealership. Whole towns are affected when John Deere betrays its employees, fall like a set of dominoes. John Deere now says that over the next 10 years, they will invest $20 billion in American enterprises. They want us to think that they still care about America. However, I have a question for you. Do they deserve our trust after this betrayal, after we've seen them pick Mexico above Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois? Can a business that betrays American workers ever win their trust again? This people, it's not only John Deere. The essence of American industry is at stake here. The question at hand is whether we will allow businesses to treat hard-working Americans like cogs in their wheel. Thus, I would like to hear from you. Has a business you trusted deceived you? What steps would John Deere need to take to regain your confidence? Do other businesses in your neighborhood use the same dishonest tactics? Because this is the problem. Bob is not going to give up. He's planning. He is retaliating. And I'll show you exactly what he's doing in the video that airs next week, along with how you can help bring American manufacturing back home. However, I must know that you are with me. If you're prepared to take a stance, click the subscribe button, ring the bell, and leave a remark below. Because who else will fight for American employment if we don't? Remember that I'll be revealing Bob's grand scheme to hold John Deere accountable for this transgression next week. You should not miss it. Keep standing up for what's right till then. And this is the reality that no one wants to acknowledge. This goes beyond a single business or even America. The shockwaves from John Deere's actions like this don't end at the border. They have an impact on every worker, farmer, and small town that relies on industry for its survival. Do not simply click away after watching this video if you support American jobs and the preservation of the heartland. Distribute it. Discuss it. At your neighborhood coffee shop, at your church, or at your dinner table, strike up a conversation. Remember, this is not just an American battle. Our neighbors in the narrative is the same in Canada. The same strain from corporate greed and trade games is being felt by their farmers, factory workers, and rural towns. The entire foundation we've established together is shaken when John Deere betrays one side of the border. Only when common people from Missouri to Manitoba, from Iowa to Ontario, decide to go, will change start. Ontario decide to go, will change start.